Hello everyone and welcome to a map overview of Company of Heroes 2 brought to you by me, Seth. So the map is called Blood Brothers Part 4 Isolation. Now let's cover the backstory, settings, the map layout and all the important stuff that you came here for. So the backstory, it's simple and a bit interesting. So you find out that the dispatcher who was providing you intel in the previous missions was an American, and to make things worse, he was misinforming you. As you would, if you play the previous maps, you would understand that. And now his job, as we can see here, is now to basically eliminate you, because the race to Berlin is what is important here, and you're the only loose end that he needs to, tie up. Now you might be wondering, well, don't you have connection to high command to inform them? Well, as he stated before, he informed Moscow about how your supposed treachery happened, and that you're now the rogue element. And that's basically the backstory. Now you need to push him back and eliminate him, win and all that, punish him. So we covered the backstory. Let's see the settings. The recommended settings are, as usual, no mod, standard resources, fixed positions, and victory points set at 1000 points. Again, the map has been modified so to be accustomed to a higher population cap, but this time it is 200, not 300. So let's have a look at the starting positions of each player. So player 1 and player 2 start at these positions with their maps, and they have some units located at this side of the bank and at this side of the bridge. Player 3, on the other hand, starts alone with player, well, the artificial player here, and his job would be basically to, wreck shit up here and capture the stockpile of fuel and munitions here. These are quite valuable. What would player 2 and 1 do? Well, they would basically need to hold off the Yankees here and here. Now, let's explain one important feature of this map, and that is the line of sight, or rather the vision of your units. Usually when you play matches in Company of Heroes 2, what your friend sees, you also see. However, this time it has been modified in such a way that what you see, your friend cannot see, and vice versa. This is to, incentivize communications between players. So, for example, if you're shooting artillery here, you might want to tell your friends, hey, I'm shooting artillery here, in case you have some units, move them back. So to prove that, I'm going to turn on the fog of war, stop it like here, so we can see from players 3 perspective. So he can see here, he can see here, and he can see the other player's units here because he's nearby. However, he cannot see the units here, he cannot see the units here. Actually he can, because he has one unit here, but you get the gist. This is to, as I said before, incentivize the communication between players, to increase cooperation even more. But now that we explained the key feature of this map, let's now focus on the map layout. So starting from here, the map layout usually consists of, rural buildings that are not of higher quality. It will barely protect you against heavy armor, thick forest and some open terrain. In here we have some more, well, let's say a stockpile of resources, and that would be it. Crossing the only bridge here, we still have the same type of terrain. We have some buildings that are easy to destroy. Again, some thick forest, a bit flood here and there, nothing special. And this part of the map is more important in that regard, because you have 2 access points basically. This one and this one. So one is for infantry, the other one would be obviously for tanks, but you can also make your own path. For example, if you take a tank and you manage to break down these barricades here, then your infantry can progress along with the tanks. Now let's focus on the victory points. As you can see, in typical fashion, the victory points are located on the enemy's side in order to provide you with a motivation to prepare an assault and crush them, or capture the victory points and hold out, whatever you want. As we can see here, the victory points have been protected by some MG bunkers. We have one here, another one here, 2 here, and 2 here. Before advancing forward, you will need to make a strategy in order how to, break these bunkers down and progress forward. As we can see here, there are some mines on the bridge, so you will also need to take that into consideration. This bridge can also be destroyed, so if you don't want the enemy pestering you at this side, just blow up the bridge, you know, like old partisan style, and then just focus that the bastards can't cross here. I mean, it's a piece of cake. Okay, now let's see what else that we can say about this map. Well, I explained the feature of the sight of units, didn't I? I think that it was very interesting. The first time I played this map with two of my friends, we failed because all of the units, we had to retreat them from this position, and once we did that, they captured this healing camp, actually military field hospital, and from then on we couldn't push back, and they managed to pour all the units here, and the timer of the victory points brought down to 0 and we lost. But the second time we went, we invested more forces here in order to hold, and this ridge is particularly important. As you can see, it provides some heavy cover, so a Maxim here can cover the area, provide a AT gun behind it and perhaps a mortar, and you can hold this position no problemo. Speaking about mortars, player 3 might need a bit of assistance, not too much. I mean, it's easy, just, you know, rush the bastard and destroy his base, but that doesn't mean that he can do it alone. What I suggest to you is you build a mortar team and then you send it across the bridge right here. One mortar team is more than enough. It can provide indirect fire support or it can drop smoke bombs. Both are exceptionally very useful. For example, as we can see here, there's a bunker. Now, as we know, penal troops are equipped with satchel charges that can blow these bastards up to heaven come. But a bit smoke won't harm, because if you drop a bit smoke here, the bunker can't see, penal troops come here, they blow it up, and you have a squad of happy penal troops, which is important for the Soviet Union in that regard. So I think I covered all that is important for this map, I hope. As we can see, there's not much terrain variation. What you see here is the same that you will see here and here. Combat will mostly be focused on infantry due to how close ranged it is, but that doesn't mean that tanks can pass. In fact, tanks are important. Just make sure that, I don't know, you don't get ambushed in such small corridors. This has been Seth. I hope you enjoyed the map overview, and I hope this information was informative and entertaining. Stay tuned for the rest of the maps in Blood Brothers. Actually, another map, Blood Brothers Part 5. See you there.